Hello, everyone. And if you're out there, thank you for joining me. Yes, I know recently the first edition series has been a little lax, a little bit, been skipping here and there. Unfortunately, schedule conflicts have come into play, but managed to make some time for this Friday. So, as I said last time, we'll be covering the second episode of Masako X's Dragon Ball R&R. If you don't remember the last episode, it was introducing a new era of Dragon Ball. But it's basically fan fiction. Basically fan fiction, right? Right. But it's this alternate universe. That's what it was last time. So if you didn't see it last time, you didn't watch the last first edition episode, and don't worry. A quick recap is that Masako X is a part of that Team 4 Star group that did the Dragon Ball abridged series. He voiced Goku, at the very least Goku. I'm never really sure who else he voiced in that the comedy show, but he voiced at least Goku, and he has his own channel, and he made this very well produced fan fiction series, and it's basically a manga that was dramatized, and he turned it into a YouTube video. And so far, I think there's 3 or 4 episodes, or something like that. And we went over the last one. We went over the first episode, the very first episode of the series. And the series covers an alternate universe where Raditz, Goku's brother, Goku being the main character in this instance, uh, where Raditz, Goku's brother, who died in the original series at the very beginning, actually survived. And not only survived, but turned good because Raditz was an enemy in the original series. So now he's an ally in this universe, and he married someone of from I think the original Dragon Ball series. Her name is Launch. Married her, had a kid named Ranch, who is of course half Saiyan. So she joins the other half Saiyan kids, Trunks and Goten. Goten being the son of Goku, the youngest son of Goku, and Trunks being the only son of Vegeta, who is Goku's rival. So easy dynamic to take in. Easy dynamic to take in. Let's see here. Let's see here. And here's the thing: we went over the first episode, and it was while it's well produced, and while most of the characters are spot on as far as character consistency, we found some interesting troubles when it came to the character of Ranch, mainly because she's a new character. The dreaded OC label being attached to her. She's an original character made by Masako X, the very least, and therefore became the central character. And of course, in this one, even though there is fighting going on a little bit, Dragon Ball R&R isn't about the usual fighting that's in the television show. There's no big enemy, it seems, at least not yet. They had the only fighting that took place, while it was major and epic, it was just a contest, just a little practice round. Nothing major, no high stakes, just them fighting for some weird bet that Trunks couldn't have lost because he was apparently on every team. So that's what happened last time. And the major issue was that Ranch was being portrayed as a Mary Sue, pretty much. She was loved by everyone instantly. She outsmarted the boys. She was in the team that defeated Goku and Raditz, her father. Goku being the mightiest warrior in the universe, or more or less. And she defeated them. Her factor in the contest defeated not only Goku but her own father when they fused together. And we point basically went over how the different points and the strange oddities surrounding Ranch as a character. And overall, while the episode was fine until you got to Ranch, Ranch made up a majority of the focus of the episode, and Ranch wasn't portrayed very well. It was very interesting to see because it was quite clear that whoever wrote the script likely didn't have a lot of experience when it came to creating and characterizing and fleshing out their own character. However, they did have an adept feel of the other mainstay characters. So Vegeta felt real, Goku felt real, Boma, etc. All the other characters that were already in the original show felt spot on. Ranch, however, it seemed was uh, was guided and written by the hand of an amateur, unfortunately. And it's so I mean it's perfectly fine. as I said before, amateurs or people who are beginning or just the beginning stages of writing, they haven't written very much. In other words, they maybe it's the first story they've written, maybe it's their second. Uh, they're still working out their voices, their techniques, things like that. They usually tend to make Mary Sue's. It's kind of almost inevitable. It's almost inevitable. So, just want to give that recap while people have make it inside. See a board enthusiast and Angel of that Sword. Welcome, welcome. Board enthusiasts. Where is everybody? You know, social distancing is only physical, right? Well, they might. Unfortunately, YouTube has been cracking down on the wrong thinkers or something. I don't know. But my main channel videos have gone from at least 100 to 2,000, 200,000 views per video to hoping I crack 10,000. The last video I put out was almost, I think, a little over a month ago, and it's just now got to 70,000. So this drastic drop. In comparison, the video I did before that one made 800,000 views. Then the next one I put out did 70,000 after 2 months. So something's going on. I've been hearing a lot of people in the rumblings saying that their live streams are being suppressed. No one is getting the notifications. I know for sure, and people have told me they're not getting notifications, and that they are being constantly unsubbed from my channel and everything. So I don't know what YouTube is trying to do, but it's basically making it very difficult for people to know when new videos are out, when live streams are going. So there's that. So it might not be social distancing. It just might be YouTube trying to suppress and silence again. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. Angel Lesor, I think the usual viewers may be unaware of the second stream today. They'll be on soon, I'm sure. It's possible. It's possible. But it seems that YouTube is doing something funny. And no one's getting notifications for anything anymore, it seems. There's a huge thread I saw on Twitter of people complaining about this. Everyone was starting to build. Well, there's a lot of channels being built on live streaming these days. And no one is coming to live streams anymore, even though their whole channel is built on it. Everything is shrinking, everything is falling down. And you think it would be growing since everyone is shut in at the moment, but it's not. It's shrinking. And it's because no one is getting notifications anymore for some reason. But anyway, it's no problem. Whoever is here, welcome, welcome. And we'll see how it goes. Today we'll be covering the second episode of Masako X's Dragon Ball R&R. So let's check it out, shall we? I already have it pulled up. Now, this one I've seen with Yellow Flash, and I know more or less what's going on. And this one, in my opinion, was overall better. However, there is also the factor that it shows raunch a whole lot less than the last one did. Because this one actually revolves around Goten. And as I said before, the creators might not be too experienced when it comes to fleshing out and creating a very reasonable original character. But when it comes to already established characters, they're more or less spot on with character consistency. So, as we'll see, if you take out the original characters and everything, basically just raunch. If you take out raunch, the overall quality improves drastically. So let's see if you agree with me. We'll go through this, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Well, actually, you know what? I finally figured out how to make this work on StreamYards. So I managed to actually get the intro back. So let's go ahead and get started. Another episode of the first edition. So let's get started, shall we? There we go. There we go. We're back. And worked just fine, looks like. I had to tweak it a little bit, but it worked. But the StreamYard is great because I also can do stuff like this.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Or this.
Oh, dear.
Fantastic. I like it. I can just input clips like it's a radio show or something. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see here. Okay, let's check it out. Let's continue.
Things that could happen, so many things I haven't seen.
just like I said last time, the opening here is pretty well produced. Remember, this is just a kind of a vanity project. I wouldn't even go that far. It's just something that he made out of passion and love for the show. It's not a big studio. This is just Masako X and maybe a team of fans and I guess fellow 4 star members. So this is pretty high quality stuff. Very very impressive.
The marvels of what we have done can be felt by everyone. Fight after fight, we only go stronger. Night after night, one more we have conquered. Yes, ever faster.
Okay, so if you don't know, if you didn't watch the last episode, this is Raditz, and this is his daughter Ranch. Ranch is well, at least in the last episode, in the very first episode of the series, it was more or less written like a Mary Sue. It was unfortunate. It was very tragic, considering how well produced this whole work is, and how well they portrayed the mainstay establishment characters. But fortunately for us, and she's not in this episode that much. It's mainly revolving around Goten. And this is Raditz. This is Goku's brother, and he was killed in the original series and then kind of forgotten about forever. Very unfortunate for Raditz. He kind of just ran off, and then everyone just kind of forgot about him. And but they brought him back for this episode. They brought him back for this series. He was a horrible villain in the first series, but now in this series, it's kind of the universe is kind of dejected, and or switched trajectories. And Raditz in this version became a good guy, so that's very important. And he married a woman named Launch, then had a daughter named Ranch. So here we go. And this Ranch is specifically interesting because in the all of the Dragon Ball series, from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z to beyond, there are very very few female fighters. Usually they're all their wives or in the background cheering on, that sort of thing. So Ranch is very unique in that she's a Saiyan who is also, or half Saiyan, who is also a fighter. It seems like now you don't get this until in the original continuity. Technically speaking, you don't get this until Pan, which is I think Goku's granddaughter or something. But she doesn't come out into Dragon Ball GT, and I've heard from various sources that that's actually not even canon. So we'll see. But there, even if you guide it as canon, if you say that it is canon, then you have Pan. But everyone hates her too because there's not very many women who fight in Dragon Ball. It's usually just the men who do the battle. There are a few, but very very few. See, well, I'll say there's more than in Yu Yu Hakusho. I think in Yu Yu Hakusho there was one, but it wasn't really a woman. It was kind of a hermaphrodite or something. Let's see here. Board enthusiast. And I'm not sure what you mean, but sure, anyone on the chat streams are a friend in my book. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue, shall we?
I can tell you, and I will go real far.
Yep, I like the opening. It seems relatively professional considering. Flying Turret 208, the cannon. Sorry for missing the start. No problem. No problem at all. We just started. You haven't. Fortunately for you, we have not. You have not missed anything except for a recap of the last episode, which was me covering episode 1 of Dragon Ball R&R. So I think you were here last time. So if you remember, essentially, uh, too long didn't read. It was Branch, the character in this series, was essentially written as a Mary Sue, and that's what the crux of the commentary was about. Her being written as a Mary Sue, and to ridiculous degrees. Let's see here. There we go. Let's continue.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp, convenient, affordable, and private online counseling.
Oh yeah, I forgot how long ago this was. Okay, Chad, don't go to BetterHelp. BetterHelp has been exposed as a scam. Don't do it. They were basically like a psychology or psychiatry service that was really pushed by Boogie 2988. And if you looked at their if you looked at their terms of service, they actually had no real doctors working for them, and in the service, it kind of implies that they sell all the information they get from you to advertisers and stuff. So, so what they did was they made you think they were legitimate psychiatrists, and they would take in your problems, and they would, basically do what psychiatrists do. One second, chat. One second.
Available anytime and anywhere. Get started by going to tryonlinetherapy.com/MasakoX and find warm yet professional advice today.
This has been a full day of adventures for Goten. And all
Anyway, that's a start. Sorry about that, chat. A little something happened, but here I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, BetterHelp, pretty bad. It was pretty bad. They didn't have any doctors, which means there was no patient doctor confidentiality. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, there was no doctor patient confidentiality. None at all. So whatever you told them, all your secrets were up for grabs. They could sell them at any time for whatever reason. So that fell out of it. It used to be really, really popular. A board enthusiast was Literature Devil was brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Get 50,000 coins or some crap. There's a funny story about that. Raid Shadow Legends actually did contact me for a spot in one of my videos, and they would pay, I think, what, $500 for a 30 to 60-second plug. And I said, no, that's ridiculous. Plus, I tried your game. It's not that fun. It's maybe fun for about an hour. That's about it. It's not that great. Not that great of a game. And I'm definitely not going to shill that on my channel. There's no wonder they pay so much. Let's see here. Let's see. So, yeah, don't use BetterHelp. I'm not even sure if it's around anymore, but if it is, don't use it. It's bad. They'll betray your trust, sell all your deepest, darkest secrets to corporations and marketing teams. Anyway, so this episode, like I said, stars Goten. It's his little adventure. It's kind of silly. In fact, it's really, really silly. But no raunch, so it's better than it could have been.
although his body rests, the young warrior's mind is just as active as ever.
Come on, Goten, you can do this!
Double Sunday!
Wow, Uncle Raditz sure is amazing!
Final Flash!
This part's pretty good. It starts out with a dream sequence, which usually is pretty demonized. But as long as it's not wrapping up an episode, as long as it's not Goten waking up at the end of the episode saying, "Oh, everything you just saw, that was a dream." It's starting off by showing us his deepest, darkest desires and his insecurities. And his insecurity is that he's not unique. He's not strong. He's not the strongest. He's not the fastest. He's not the smartest. He's not really anything. He's kind of bland and fades into the background, which is what we'll see here. But this is why the dream sequence here is so important, or it's so at the very least effective. At the very least effective. And yeah, the movie is called Double Sunday. If you don't know, Toriyama is really, really big on puns and everything. So Vegeta is this vegetable, and they come from planet Vegeta, and the Saiyans are just, I think, it's another allusion to vegetable. All the Saiyans are named after vegetables. Goku's Saiyan name is Kakarot, which is basically just carrot. And if you heard of Vic Mignogna, which some of you might have, he voiced a character called Broly, which is basically just a pun on broccoli, because he's also a Saiyan. Uh, Nameks, I think, are named after instruments. So you have Piccolo, who's a Namek. I don't know where Nail came from, actually. You have Dende. Actually, just Piccolo. I think it was the children of King Piccolo. His kids were named after woodwind instruments. And there's all sorts of things like that. So every little gang of bad guys tend to be more or less have their own grouped together by a group of puns. So the main bad guy of the series, the overarching bad guy of the series, named Frieza, and Frieza's father's named King Cold, and Frieza's brother is named Cooler. So the whole entire race are just a bunch of ice puns. Let's see. Okay, so Goten is being kind of insecure here. Not so good for him, and we'll see why he's so insecure and what comes of it.
Whoa. You know, Mr. Vegeta is scary. But I must admit, when he fights, he's really awesome. I wonder if Trunks and I could get to his level someday. Uncle Raditz? Hey, Uncle Raditz!
What are you waiting for? Let's do this.
Try not to mess us up, okay?
So there we go. The other side, one side was he's not really as powerful as his father or uncle, or as in his words, as amazing. And then he turns to to his two friends, Ranch and Trunks, which should be on his level, more or less. But even they are above him or different than he is, and he's kind of left in the cold all by himself. So we get a distinct feeling of isolation right from the beginning of the episode, and we get to feel what Goten is going through. Because last episode was kind of an airhead. He doesn't really seem like he has much of a personality other than to be happy-go-lucky or empty-headed. But now we get something to that really complexes his character, but kind of fleshes it out.
John. Ha! Hey guys, wait up! I'm over here! Please.
He's having a nightmare since in the last episode, Trunks and Ranch went ahead and fused and managed to beat a fusion of Goku and Raditz, as I said last time. So that seems to be what's triggering this little mental outbreak, this loss of confidence. And there's Ranch and Trunks's non-binary warrior non-binary warrior form here. No one ever actually explored because women don't really fight in Dragon Ball, so no one really explored what would happen if you fuse together a man and a woman. So it's really strange, but that happens here, and it's not really addressed. They just say it's strange. Let's see, Angel of that Sword. The issue with projects such as this, the ability to put these things together does not require any creative discipline. The more financial opportunity, the less likelihood of coinciding coinciding discipline. Yeah, I mean, he could have just paid for all this and he just threw ideas at them. Let's see here. The board enthusiast. Ranch is named after ranch dressing. I have no idea, actually. I think it's because Ranch wasn't made by Toriyama specifically. She's an original character by Masako X. It could have been just they just replaced the word launch with Ranch for Launch's daughter because she's the daughter of a woman named Launch, and I'm not really sure where her pun comes in. They just call her Launch. She's not really part of a group, so there's no real parody there. But yeah, more or less, that's what I think that's where they just went with. They said, okay, she's the daughter of Launch. Let's just call her Ranch. It seems Toriyama-y. So it isn't really, but it's close. It seems like something Toriyama would do, the creator of Dragon Ball. Flying 208, let's go with ranch dressing. If that works for you. Let's see here. Okay, let's keep going.
But what about me? You guys, what's going on? I'm here too! Guys! I can help!
We don't need another Goku.
Oh, for goodness sake! There's no need to shake him!
But we're going to miss the best time of day for training! There's nothing like a Saiyan training session with...
Okay, the characterization, character consistency was pretty well done with everyone except maybe Raditz, and that's because they really had to kind of invent his personality because he was evil in the original series and died very early. So they had to kind of invent how Raditz would be if he turned good, and unfortunately, he kind of suffers between the beneath the same inexperience that Ranch does. And he's basically just like a mix between Vegeta and Goku. Like he's nothing. He's not really original. He's just a more aggressive Goku. He's kind of just as dumb. But unfortunately, yeah, he's not. He's not really what I would picture Raditz being if he turned good. Let's see here. Angel of Thy Sword, also LD, I believe her name indeed originally was Ranch, but they changed it. It seems it could be. It could be. We're talking about launch. It could be because usually that when it comes to R's and L's in these sorts of translations, that seems to be the case. They tend to add in R's where L's were and things like that. Let's see, or L's where R's were, things like that. Something like that. One of those ways around. Flying Terror 8. Let's see here. Here's a name to toss someone. Spargus, pun of asparagus. There might be asparagus already, I think. Yeah, there was an enemy called Garlic Junior, and all of his enemies were like spices and stuff. I think it was there was one named Pepper and Ginger. There's puns everywhere. There's puns everywhere. There's an enemy called Boo from the Boo Saga, and his master was named Bibbidi. Well, I think his original master was named Bibbidi. Bibbidi's son was named Bobbidi, and then of course you have Boo. So Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Okay, anyway, let's keep going.
My favorite nephew at sunrise.
Well, your favorite nephew still needs to brush his teeth and get dressed.
Wait,
He'll be
I'm
with you
trying to-
later.
See ya, Goten!
Is everything okay? I heard you talking in your sleep.
Yeah, I'm okay, Mom.
Was it a nightmare?
Mom, really, I'm fine.
Because you know Raditz and your dad will always keep us safe.
Mom? Do you think I'm a lot like Dad?
Well, looks weren't the only thing you inherited from your father.
Here's the thing: the one thing he didn't want to hear. You know, you're just like your father, and just a clone of your dad. Oh, fantastic! Just what he wanted to hear. So we get hammered on that. Yeah, he's still insecure. It wasn't just a dream. He kind of forgot about it, trying to bury in his mind. He actually is suffering from this identity crisis. He wants to be unique or different, or not do something that doesn't leave him behind. And it keeps so the writing is a little bit better from the first episode to this one, and that's probably because Goten is an establishment character. You don't have to put extra effort into making a brand new personality for someone.
The final cut? Goten's big decision.
Oh, okay. So Angel of Thy Sword. Actually, I was referring to Ranch as you watched the original "What If Raditz Turned Good" series of discussions on his on this fans YouTube channel. Oh yeah, okay. So I remember watching that one, but it was quite some time ago. His "What If Raditz Turned Good." So it might have been Ranch before, which would make sense. I guess they changed it to Ranch here so it could sound more like launch. Interesting. Okay.
You know, this reminds me of something. I remember Gohan having problems with this getting up in the morning stuff. I must admit, you're really making your uncle proud.
Thanks, Uncle Raditz.
Now all we need to do is ask Bulma to make you a cool new battle.
It's like a meaner Goku, but a nicer Vegeta. It's kind of strange, kind of a little between those two. But he's really, really goofy. I don't know. I don't see Raditz from the first series being this goofy. it's really strange. Like I said, they kind of mishandle it when they have to do something on their own. When they have to put something original in here. Anyway.
Form, just like mine.
Whoa, for real?
Yes, indeed. I bet you would look pretty intimidating on the battlefield. Well, then again, I couldn't begin to imagine Kakarot wearing it, so maybe it was a bad idea.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I mean, no offense, kiddo, but you and your dad wear the exact same clothes and have the same ridiculous mop on your heads. You're like a little Kakarot. If I were you, I'd do something about that look, or at the very least something with your hair.
Oh, I don't know. My hair's always been like this, though.
You know what, Goten? You are so lucky to be half Saiyan.
I am? Why?
Why, you can grow your hair, of course. Give it a few months and you can have a majestic mane, just like mine. Ooh, yeah.
The Born Enthusiast. I will admit that the artist is really good. Oh yeah, definitely. This is almost indistinguishable. Like if you didn't know any better, this could be mistaken for an actual product of Dragon Ball. It's really good. They really really well produced all the way around. They have a Goten keeping what's his name, Raditz, just hammering down what Goten has suspected all along, and is basically just tapping into his biggest insecurity, and that he is not different or unique. He's just a miniature version of his dad. Not good in his book because he wants to be something different. He wants to be his own person, and that's where this episode is going. It's kind of silly. I don't know. It's more a slice of life than anything else. There's no battling in here whatsoever. I think that's what Dragon Ball R&R is supposed to be. Just rest and relaxation. No real stakes or anything. It's basically just a series of filler episodes, or what you would consider filler episodes, but with a new character. Let's see here. Angel Sword, everything other than she was well produced. Yeah, I think I agree. I agree. I think this needs someone to go over Ranch's character and kind of fix things as far as the story goes. Make them lose. Make them put up a good fight, but lose in the end. Make her not really all that. Maybe make her weak, and then she kind of gains strength as the story goes on. Gains confidence, that sort of thing. Noble Commando. I'm surprised I never watched Dragon Ball because I love anime. Yeah, Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball is my favorite of the series. The one where Goku's a kid. That was interesting because everything there's more mysticism. It's not about power creep anymore. Because Dragon Ball Z had power creep where your main characters are this strong, the next enemy is going to be double that, and then the only solution to defeat the enemy is to get stronger. break into some new form or break some new level of strength. Dragon Ball is different. It's a lot different. And everyone is useful. In Dragon Ball Z and beyond, there's some characters that become kind of obsolete and vestigial, and they kind of just drop them off of the face of the earth. And they just make cameos every once in a while to make sure you still know they're there. Oh, here we go. Angela Sword, everything other than the story was well produced. Yeah. Everything is well produced except for that story, which really suffered. Really, really suffered, especially from Ranch's favoritism, at the very least, favoritism. But she was a Mary Sue. I mean, she was written as a Mary Sue. She was kind of fixed here, I think, a little bit. And that's mainly because she's not really in this episode very much.
What's the matter, sweetie? Aren't you hungry?
Mom, could I get a haircut?
Of course you can. To be fair, your hair has started to become quite messy. It's definitely due for a trim.
Ha! You'll have to do more than that! Nothing could save that disaster!
What do you mean?
Well, I mean... maybe it's time for the boy to change his look up a bit, so he can be his own man. Look more menacing and less Kakarot.
Huh? What's wrong with looking like me?
Well, let's say we can only deal with having one Kakarot in this family.
Now that's one thing we can agree on.
I really appreciate the like the Full House sitcom sort of dialogue. Can only get one of you in our family, and then there needs to be a laugh track sometimes. I just think there should be a laugh track. I mean, it's just if you took out Raditz and Ranch, it would be a much better series. But that's kind of the whole point of this series, to have Raditz be good and have him have a daughter named Ranch. But this is sometimes it's just really distracting how unpolished this dialogue is, and it's not really unique. It's more like they just wrote it in one day or something. This is sitcom level stuff. It's really strange and out of place in the Dragon Ball universe. I should get a laugh track on here. Let's get a laugh track clip.
Oh, dear.
Something like that. And let's see here. Born enthusiast. I would like to see the kids' issues manifest into larger issues, i.e., a big monster, a mysterious enemy, etc. Not this Nickelodeon sitcom. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're kind of getting. There's kind of a sitcom dialogue at least coming from Raditz and Ranch, and even Chi-Chi here. It's kind of strange and really out of place. You can kind of tell, and this is really weird because they produced such a great production on the Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Lots of good stuff in there. Lots of drama, lots of character development. It's maybe it's just Masako X by himself. Maybe he didn't actually write it. He just got a friend to do so. I'm not really sure. But this is not as top quality as Dragon Ball Abridged, and it's kind of amateur. It's kind of it seems to stole some techniques from some weird sitcoms and stuff, some dialogue from some weird sitcoms. Let's see, Noble Commando. Sounds like the OG Dragon Ball is the only Dragon Ball I should be watching. I think they're all good except for maybe GT. Dragon Ball Z, it's a different animal, but I personally prefer Dragon Ball. I would suggest you try Dragon Ball Z also because it has its own wonderful stuff in there. It's just I personally prefer Dragon Ball, but you might prefer Dragon Ball Z over Dragon Ball. It all depends on where your tastes are. And there's nothing wrong with liking Dragon Ball Z anyway. Let's see here. Angel Thy Sword. Perhaps he's simply a bad writer, but a great leader. It could be. But either way, whoever wrote this is kind of amateurish or unpolished or inexperienced. This seems like, if not the first story they've written, at least close to it. It's the Born Enthusiast. I don't want my Literature Devil streams mixing with my Big Bang Theory laugh tracks. Thank you. Oh yeah. Don't really need any laugh tracks here. But this manga certainly feels like it does. Especially after that dialogue. Let's go ahead and rewind this a little bit so we can hear it again. It's kind of amusing.
So he can be his own man. Look more menacing and less Kakarot.
Huh? What's wrong with looking like me?
Well, let's say we can only deal with having one Kakarot in this family.
There we go. Cue laugh track. That's where you cue the laugh track. So get the laugh tracks in there, have them laugh, and then we continue with Chi-Chi.
Now that's one thing we can agree on.
You see? I'm making sense here.
Sweetie, don't worry. Uncle Raditz is easily the last person to be giving out fashion advice.
Laugh track.
I'll cut your hair after dinner.
You know, Chi-Chi, you really need to watch what you say.
Laugh track.
You said Goten. Honestly.
Goten.
And so I'm thinking about
And now he's sad. I think he went to go see Trunks or something. I don't know. Let's see here.
getting a haircut.
Okay, and?
And it's a big deal. My hair's always looked like this. What if I change it and it looks dumb?
Dumb? What sort of cut were you thinking of?
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, long hair like Uncle Raditz's is cool.
But yes, and in case you're thinking this is going somewhere, this whole episode is just about Goten getting a haircut. And the whole dilemma here is what kind of haircut should he get? I'm personally thinking mullet. I'm gonna see a Saiyan with a mullet, but he doesn't go that route.
And all, but that would take forever.
Hey, anything's better than rocking your dad's hair, man. Not gonna lie, it's kind of weird.
But isn't your hair the same as your mom's?
What? No.
Let's see here. Angel of that Sword. It's a shame that the more mature, shocking atmosphere of Z was not as well structured as the original Dragon Ball, as if Toriyama extinguished all his creative writing skills into Vegeta. I think so, because the thing is about Dragon Ball, he was intending for that to be the end, and then they kind of pushed him into making Dragon Ball Z, and he just he wanted to end it with, I think, the Frieza saga. He's like, okay, finally, this is the end. But it kept, there's so many instances where Toriyama wanted to end the series, but it was so popular that he kind of was forced to keep going. So this is why you get things where he kind of makes up stories and facts and retcons on the spot, and it gets really interesting because he says something one time and then later on he kind of just dismisses that or forgets what he said before. Because Toriyama he's one of those writers who really writes from the seat of his pants. And sometimes it gets really confusing. For example, at first he had the Saiyan planet, Vegeta, get destroyed by a meteor because the guardian of their world saw how evil Saiyans were and decided to summon a meteor to destroy it. And then there's retconned that the enemy Frieza was the one who destroyed planet Vegeta. And there's so many instances of that. So I think it stemmed from Toriyama really having a passion for Dragon Ball, and then it being so famous and so popular that he was kind of forced to continue it with Dragon Ball Z, and then continue with the Frieza saga, and then continue it beyond that with the I think the Cell saga, and then the Boo saga, or no, the Android saga, then the Cell saga, then the Boo saga, and he thought it was going to end there, and then it just kept on going. He really could never escape Dragon Ball after that. It's just too popular. Like how the Curse of Alan Moore, where DC said, "We'll give you the rights to Watchmen back, Alan Moore, as soon as people stop buying it," and then they never did. Let's see here. Board enthusiast. Someone please edit an episode of Friends with an unenthusiastic LD saying laugh track. I would watch that. But then Friends wouldn't be funny anymore because it's not a funny show. It's just funny because of the laugh track. Let's see here. Flying 208. Slaps whiteboard. Laugh. Like one of those light up signs you have in the audience. Applause. Laugh. Making a shock and horror sound. Let's see here. Noble Commando. I don't like it when anime characters pull a win out of their ass with a stronger form. That's why I hate Fairy Tail. That's essentially how Dragon Ball Z works at all times. This new, stronger form. It's really interesting if you don't really pay attention much to the story or anything like that. But Dragon Ball Super came out and they really started to complex things up. So they redid Broly, and the redone Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly, was far more complex, far better writing. And I would recommend it if you really want to tap into Dragon Ball Super. The movies about Dragon Ball Super are great. The Battle of the Gods, the Resurrection F, Super Broly. They're not great as in like Godfather great, but they're great as in better writing than your typical Dragon Ball series, and far more complex. All of them far more complex than your original Dragon Ball series, original Dragon Ball movies anyway. They've been really fantastic, very fun watches. Let's see here. Fighting 208. Literature Devil, as the quotation marks, take a deep breath. And after saying the quotation marks, take another one. Cue laugh track. Let's keep going.
No, Mom's hair is totally different. Totally different.
Gee, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Man, That's all. Good. I gotta go do something.
Oh, wait, Trunks!
You're on your own, man.
Aww.
Way to go, Goten. You just destroyed Trunks' world by revealing that his haircut is the same as his mother's. Way to go, Goten. You just mind crushed him with that revelation. Angel of That Sword, Super Broly had some of the best world building I've seen in this franchise. Yeah, it was really good. It was surprisingly good. I thought they was going to have a more flashy version of the original Broly movie. That wasn't the case. It was far more complex. They made Broly a very interesting character, not just someone who is just really super powerful. The Board Enthusiast, instead of a laugh track, get the he tried it, look at the top of his head, laugh. That would be the trail. Fantastic.
I'm surprised.
Huh?
And here I thought you were the least pathetic member of your family. But if you're letting some useless comments about your appearance affect you, you're beyond help. I'd hate to see how you'd cope if things got serious. Pitiful.
So what should I do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vegeta's lying here. There's no way that he thought Goten was the least pathetic member of Goku's family. There's just no way. Vegeta would think he's the most pathetic because he is. So that's kind of strange for him to say. Anyway.
About it, Mr. Vegeta?
What are you looking at me for? I don't give a damn what you do.
But...
Listen, kid. Between you and I, you are the only hope for that sorry excuse of a Saiyan brood. Now is the time to toughen up. Be a proud Saiyan warrior. Define what you are and what it means to be a Super Saiyan legend. Follow.
Okay, on that one panel, to me, is it just me? It looked like Vegeta snapped his neck. Let me see here.
You are the only hope for that sorry excuse of a Saiyan brood.
It's mentioned like a cracking sound there. Like he turned his head so far, so quickly that he snapped his neck. Now his eyes are just rolled back of his head because he's dead now.
But...
Listen, kid. Between you and I, you are the only hope for that sorry excuse of a Saiyan brood. Now is
This is kind of strange because he doesn't look like he's looking at anyone. It's like he just died. He's turned his head so fast. It was such enthusiasm. He just died. He snapped his own neck on accident. Let's see here. Angel of the Sword. The only genuine flaw in Super Broly was the censorship, lack of blood. This entire era suffers from that. Yeah, unfortunately, that was true. There's plenty of blood in the original Super Broly. I mean, the original Broly movie. Plenty. That's what I really liked about Dragon Ball Z. That they didn't shy away from the brutality and the blood and everything. They kind of did once it was adapted by, I think, 4Kids or Funimation, one of those things. But the original versions were really good. They're really good about that. They didn't shy away from the brutality and the blood. It was in there. He died along with them. Remember, Chad, don't turn your head so quickly. Vegeta has shown us that if you turn your head too quickly to look over your shoulder, you'll snap your own neck, just like he did. Help me, Goten.
It's the time to toughen up. Be a proud Saiyan warrior. Define what you are and what it means to be a Super Saiyan legend. Follow in the footsteps of the Master.
That's it! Yes, sir, Mr. Vegeta! Thank you!
That was an epic speech. However, that was not about overcoming your weaknesses to become a more powerful warrior or something, or to battle somebody. That entire epic speech was to motivate Goten into deciding what haircut he wants. Yeah, anyway, that was kind of out of place, but interesting. Very interesting.
This should be amusing. At least one of Kakarot's brats stands a chance of reaching their full potential. The least he can do is become a decent punching bag for Trunks.
You're monologuing again, Dad.
Don't you have anything better to do, boy?
Yes, Dad.
Caught you monologuing again, Vegeta. It's Angel Lesor. Vegeta snaps neck but doesn't realize it. Is greeted by Nappa mid sentence. Stupid Nappa. Let's see, Noble Commander. I miss the atmosphere of the first edition. As much as I love malicious nonsense and boring nonsense, I prefer the interaction with everyone. Yeah, it's a little more intimate here. There's not so many people in chat, so it's a little. I can interact with pretty much everybody. So it's a little better for that reason. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Hey guys, Masako X here. Just a brief message for you. When I was younger, I suffered from bullying concerning my...
Okay, this is another BetterHelp commercial, so let's go ahead and skip that. Right back to Raditz. Here we go.
I know it's just a hairstyle, but hear me out. Everyone is telling me I should change my look. I get that, but no one's really giving me any suggestions. Maybe you guys have some... Oh.
Are you sure you're asking the right crowd, kid?
I don't think there's much we can say.
Nope.
Don't worry, Goten. I completely understand you.
You do?
Sure I do. I've been experimenting with my own look lately. However, in my case, it turned out the original was always best.
That's very nice of you, but I wouldn't even know where to begin. Or even if I should.
Listen, boy. I'm gonna tell you something I told your father many years ago. A lesson he should have kept close to his heart. Ladies.
Excuse me? I don't like where this...
They really got Master Roshi spot on. If nothing else, they got Master Roshi spot on for this Dragon Ball R&R.
is going.
Neither do I.
Young ladies simply love gentlemen with shiny young heads, if you know what I mean.
Thank you for your advice, guys. Master Roshi, have a nice day, bye!
Wait, boy.
Huh?
You're not like your father, you know. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thank you. See you around.
All of this soul searching and self development and character development and the wise sayings and teachings of Master Roshi and an epic speech from Vegeta, so that Goten can learn and come to a conclusion about what kind of hairstyle he wants. I don't know. It's just, to me, it just sounds funny. All this just seems out of proportion. But it's one thing if it was a comedy, but this seems to be playing very serious, which makes it even funnier. Like all this epic stuff is happening, not to overcome some big challenge or overcome some enemy that Goten is kind of struggling with. I mean, I know it is his own insecurities that he's struggling with, and that's why he wants the haircut. That's the underlying reason why he wants it. But usually that sort of stuff manifests in sort of a kind of like an outward a conflict, like with a bully or like climbing a mountain or something. But no, his mountain is not a mountain. His mountain is not a bully. It's picking his hairdo, which is interesting. Interesting. It's unique. It just I just find it funny. I don't think it's as good as it could have been if Goten was trying to differentiate himself from his father by doing something else. I mean, making his own achievements, his own victories, producing his own special move. Now would be Dragon Ball. But making his own haircut, that doesn't seem all that Dragon Ball to me. It seems more like Nickelodeon sitcom. But at least Master Roshi's spot on. I like that. A board enthusiast. The main conflict is about his hairstyle. Why? Angela Sword besting in the episode. Is that why? It's because of Master Roshi? If that's so, I completely agree. Board enthusiasts, I thought there were tense epic battles in Dragon Ball Z. If this is going to be filler, at least make it a proper one with the beach or bath episode. Jeez, you could have at least done that. They could have at least done that. Let's see here. The most serious Fighting 208. The most serious things can be hilarious. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Fighting 208. Nazis, JoJo, Rabbit, North Korea. That one comedy. Toss me more. Toss me more. Let's keep going.
See you around, little Goku. I mean Goten. Dagnabbit.
Oh, nice job, Master Roshi. You just shattered his entire mind. You destroyed all of his self-confidence. All that stuff you're trying to do, you just shattered it. Way to go.
Ranch, you're a girl, right?
Last I checked. What's up?
Do you know anything about haircuts?
Okay, like we get it. I get it. Okay, I know Ranch is a girl. In the last episode, there were so many times where the script had to step out of nowhere, turn to the audience and say, "Did you know Ranch is a girl?" And I say, "Okay, I got it the first time. You didn't have to tell me 2 or 3 more times during the same episode. I think once every 20 minutes is fine." And they do it again here. I get it. I know. I can see that Ranch is a girl. Okay, I got it. He made it very clear. Noble Commander, I thought SJWs were shitty sitcom ripoffs. Well, anyone can, apparently. Anyone can. Let's see here. Angel of the Sword. He could have become Vegeta's apprentice in an effort to differentiate himself from his father. The development of his pride. Subplot could have been involved the jealous, insecure Trunks. You know, that would have been fantastic. That would have been fantastic. I would have liked that. That would have been really good. Differentiate. Yeah, Goten definitely should have differentiated himself the Dragon Ball way, like with his own moves or getting tutorship from Vegeta. It's like Goku's other son, got tutelage from Piccolo. It would have been mirroring, been a kind of like they sort of rhyme, you know. Let's see here. Flying 208. Wait, I'm so uncertain. Is Ranch a girl? I don't know. And they keep telling us that she is, but we don't know for sure, do we? I guess they have to tell us a few more times before we really know for sure. It could be lying to us. It could be an instance of unreliable narrator. Board enthusiast, Ranch, you're a girl, right? Do you know about cooking? I'm pretty sure in this mindset of writing that would have resulted in a punch to the face.
Oh, so you're actually going through with it.
Yeah! Well, maybe. I don't know.
Papa said you were touchy about it.
I'm really surprised that in the end, Ranch isn't the one who fixes all of his problems. I'm really surprised that in the end, that Ranch isn't the one who shaves his head or whatever and gives him the perfect hairdo, and everyone loves it, and Goten loves it, and that becomes his hairdo for the rest of the series. That doesn't happen, and I'm really glad it doesn't, because I predicted that would happen, because based off of her Mary Sueishness from the last episode, but it doesn't. So, congrats on the writers holding back on this one.
So I'll avoid any cutting remarks. Don't want you to curl up and die. What, nothing?
So, do you know anything about haircuts?
Jeez, tough crowd. Why are you asking me and not your mom? Isn't she the one that cuts your hair?
I'm just afraid that when my mom cuts my hair again, it'll look the same as it always does. I gotta think of something. Anything.
You can always ask my mom. She cuts my hair, and as you can see, it's pretty good.
You think she would do that for me?
Sure. You are family after all. Comb with me.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. 1 second.
Sure. You are family after all. Comb with me.
Easily the best panel in the comic. Easily the best little scene in this video. Obviously, Goten's. I'm not putting up. I don't get paid enough for this face. Angel of the Sword, Chi-Chi would have disliked the change in her son. It would have pressured Goku into spending more time with the rebellious, this dysregulated Goten. Yeah, I mean, we would think so, but Goku's not exactly the best father, so maybe it would have forced him, but he would have been off again really easily. Remember in the Dragon Ball Abridged, it's actually a joke where keeps saying, "What would my dad do?" And he always imagines Goku saying, "Bye, son." Oh yeah. Every time he tries to remember his father for a bit of advice or for some strength, it's always met with the image of Goku going, "Bye, son." He's always leaving or dying or going off to training or something. Let's see here.
Okay.
All right, I got you now.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
Damn it. What's up, kiddos?
Goten has something to ask you. Go on, say it.
Launch, I would really like to change my look, but I don't know where to start.
What's wrong with the one you got?
Uncle Raditz said I looked ridiculous.
Oh,
Uh-oh. You just ratted on Raditz. You got your uncle in trouble. Way to go, Goten. Thought you were family.
so that's what this is about, huh?
Oh, what's she doing?
Give it a moment.
Raditz, get out here, you stupid oaf! Now!
What's with the shouting, woman?
Woman? Who do you think you are, Vegeta? Apologize.
You think you are Vegeta? That's not our relationship, Raditz. Launch is the one who wears the pants around here. Okay, you got to acknowledge that. Also, I'm wondering now that we've seen Raditz take a shower, how long does it take for his hair to dry? It must take a long, long, long time. I don't think they have hair dryers out there or anything. They live in the middle of nowhere in like a clay hut. It must take forever for him to dry that hair. And let's see. The board enthusiast. I was hoping she misfired in the story to take a sharp turn. But even if she did misfire, I think Goten and Ranj can take a few bullets to the face. I think Gohan could. So it would have hurt though. It would have hurt. It would have been very funny. It would have been very funny. Launch, by the way, has a condition where if she sneezes, she changes persons. So, so while she's like this aggressive blonde here, if she sneezes, she turns into a more, I don't know, a more gentle and kind and tender-hearted person with blue hair. But if she sneezes from that form, she turns into this blonde-headed lady with a gun. I always thought it'd be interesting after watching this if Ranch inherited that. If she sneezed and turned to like a more evil person or something, a more aggressive person. I don't know. That'd been really interesting. It'd be interesting. Like, does that condition pass on in the bloodline? Noble Commando. If this is what Dragon Ball is like, then I'm sold. It's kind of like this, pretty much. It's more comedic than Dragon Ball Z is. And it's pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. At least the original Dragon Ball is. Let's see. Angel of the Sword. Well, this is a nitpick, but lore states that they are born with permanent hairstyles. I know that's kind of strange here. And Vegeta says this on Namek. It makes sense. It makes sense too when you see Kid Vegeta and maybe Goku too. Yeah, they have the same exact hairstyle. So I'm not really sure how this works. I don't know how this works, and they know this for sure. Like Masako X actually refers to this sometimes in his videos. So I don't know how this actually works, but apparently it does in this continuity. Board enthusiast. Oh, I thought you. Oh no, I thought you were going to say she sneezes and changes genders. Not this time. She was made before the onset of woke progressiveness, so they didn't get a chance to do that particular one. But she does change into a different woman.
To Goten about what you said to him.
About what?
His hair, you dingus! You made fun of his hair!
He's still upset about that? Listen, sorry about that, kiddo.
It's okay, Uncle Raditz. I know you didn't mean it.
I never thought you would get so worked up over it.
Raditz!
What Snookums? It really does look silly.
Don't you Snookums me, mister. We are getting our butts over to Goku and Chi-Chi's place, and you are gonna apologize to everyone for being such an oaf. Do I make myself clear?
But I really don't.
Raz is in trouble. He's getting told. Now he has to go all. Now Launch is going to drag him over to Goku and Chi-Chi's house like he's a kid, and he's going to have to apologize.
We are getting our butts over to Goku and Chi-Chi's place, and you are gonna apologize to everyone for being.
That's another good reaction face, also. Really good for Raditz. Really good for Raditz. Angel of the Sword. Also, I forgot to mention this last time, but I would have preferred Raunch inherit the sneezing and suffer from guilt that intensified with circumstances. And now that would be interesting. Because I think they could have a lot of interesting story developments like that one if they did actually give Raunch the whole sneezing thing, where she just changes into a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of change. The board enthusiast. I've been so conditioned by this progressive crap. I've come to expect forced garbage like that. Yes, me too. Me too. Hashtag me too. Fortunately, a little bit, it's been left out mostly in this fan fiction. Except for that last episode where the non-binary warrior came to go save the day. But fortunately, Launch was created by Toriyama way before any of this happened. She's a mainstay original character, so any weirdness she has is for story and comedic effect rather than for forced politics. So, fortunately for us, they could ruin her, at least not that way.
Such an oaf. Do I make myself clear?
But I really don't think I should have.
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, absolutely.
And put some damn pants on. Listen, Goten, it's nobody's business about what you look like. You like the hair you got. Fine. You want something different? Fine. Look at me, kid. Do I look like I give a crap what people think about me?
No.
Is she his tough auntie now? This is more sitcom stuff, isn't it? This is more sitcom stuff. She's a tough auntie with wisdom or something.
It's your decision, little man. Not your uncle's, not your mom's or your dad's. It's yours. Hey, Raunch, why don't you fetch me that fashion magazine? I think I got an idea.
Let's see. Board enthusiast. I don't know what's worse, terrible comedy or forced politics. I think I would vote on the side of forced politics on that one, because with forced politics, not only do you get horrible characterization, horrible stories, it also comes with a standard terrible comedy. Let's see here. Noble Commando. I'm thinking on starting work on my writing project. Oh, fantastic. Excellent. Awesome. Glad to hear that one. Let's see here.
Hey, Chi! Brought your boy back home.
Oh, thank goodness. You're just in time, Goten. I made your favorite, and we've got plenty for everyone if you want to stay for dinner?
Mom, could you cut my hair after dinner? Please?
Of course. You have something in mind?
I think so.
You got it, kid.
So, what do you think? Hey, it suits you.
Hi, I like it.
I could get used to this.
I don't know. It looks a bit like Yamcha now.
Raditz. One.
Yeah, Yamcha is also a meme because he's really useless. He's the most useless character in Dragon Ball Z, even more so than Krillin, who is the short guy who's bald. He's a monk. So him saying he looks like Yamcha is a really big insult, metaphysically. Or that's the meta story anyway. It's the meta game here.
Word.
Well, I mean, he's got great hair for a human.
Oh, you know what?
I don't know why Raditz is scared of a gun. You could shoot him with a gun all day; it'd just be annoying to him. They even show I think even the humans who hang around with him can take bullets. I remember Krillin, who is actually full human. He's trained really well. I think he got a machine gun to the face, and he's fine. I think it hurt a little bit, but he's fine.
Why don't we make a call to Gohan? Show him your new look.
Hey, bro!
Goten? I almost didn't recognize you. You look great.
Thanks! How's your conference
And this is where we see Ronch gets some. She is shaken from her usual pedestal of confidence and happiness and all that good stuff. So finally, they actually instill some sort of negative penalty on her character. So we'll take a look at that.
sciencey stuff coming along?
I hope you and Videl are eating well, honey.
Hey! Hey, Gohan! Hey! Hey, Gohan!
Well, to be honest, I'm quite busy at the moment. I've got my first conference coming up, and there's a lot to get through. Videl's upset with me because I'm not getting enough sleep, apparently.
Well, she's a wise girl. You should listen to her.
Darn. Alright, I'm really sorry, but I need to clean this up and get this bit of work done by tonight. I'll call you later, okay? Love the new look, Goten. Talk soon.
Bye, sweetie.
Later. Gohan.
You know what, Goten? You look great. I shouldn't have tried to tell you otherwise before. As long as you're not wearing those ridiculous glasses your brother wears, we'll be fine.
Reddits, I swear to Kami.
Relax, I'm joking.
I still don't know what was wrong with the last do, but I'm glad you found something you're happy with.
Thanks, Dad. Say, is it okay if I go ask Bulma to make me a set of armor?
Board enthusiast, imagine making a whole story arc over a haircut to make it look virtually the same. It's just bad enough that the first part is true. That they made a whole story arc about finding out your best haircut, your best hairdo, the one that suits you as a person. But only for it to come out looking pretty much the same, it almost looks worse. It looks like it just Chichi just kind of messed up his hair a little bit without even cutting it. Let's see here. Angel Sword. I think a more accurate Raditz would have been just as aggressive as with Ronch as Vegeta is with Bulma, except Raditz wouldn't bother. He would just stand there as she shoots him indifferent. Exactly. I think that would be a more accurate portrayal of Raditz rather than this goofy Uncle Raditz that they have here in this show. And why is he scared of his wife? Why is he scared of guns? Why is he afraid of guns? Doesn't make any sense. They might mildly annoy him if he gets shot at point blank range with a pistol. They might. If not, then he probably won't even feel them. Saiyans are on the level of getting like boulders and getting thrown through mountains and stuff. Little bullets aren't going to hurt them too badly. At all, even. Let's go. Let's see here.
Like Uncle Raditz's too?
Oh.
Sure, I'll give her a call right when we get back. Speaking of which, come on, Raj. We won't be taking any more of your aunt and uncle's time. Raj? That's odd. Where did she go?
I don't know. She was there a minute ago. Ranch? Ranch!
Ranch! Ranch! Where are you, gal?
You know, on the note of launch, if I were Raditz, I would keep like a pocket full of pepper everywhere I go. So every time she sneezes and turns into that blonde version of herself, just throw some pepper in her face, she'll sneeze again and turn back. But anyway, here we go. We have a Ronch actually feeling some emotions, and this is where it'll end with her running into somebody. She's really upset that I guess Gohan didn't pay attention to her for some reason. We're not really sure why. It was like she likes Gohan or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's how creepy that is, but like she respects him. We don't know because this is the first time we've seen her actually want to interact with someone on that level. So I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, Piccolo. There he is.
You lost, kid?
There we go. That's the end of the second episode of Dragon Ball R&R. I think there were three. There are 3 or 4. I forgot which one it was. But let's see here. A board enthusiast. It looked like if Stevie Wonder cut it with a weed whacker. It kind of does. It looks messy. It doesn't look any kind of style. It just looks like it's Chi messed it up a little bit. And that's his new hairdo all of a sudden. Angel of that sword. I failed to understand the scene. It came completely out of nowhere. Yeah, a lot of this episode kind of does that. Comes out of nowhere. Angel of the Sword. Yeah, Raditz would carry pocket sand and toss it at her with he shouts at him like a crafty. Yeah, that's probably what he should do. Just carry some sand or some pepper in there. Something to make her sneeze and turn back to the other launch. And see the board enthusiast. If we could have just had the cliffhanger without the extra stuff, that'd be great. Yeah, I think it would be. The cliffhanger was fine. We finally get to see Piccolo, and we'll see how Ranch and Piccolo interact, and see we go back to the Mary Sue Ranch next time, because it looks like Ranch is going to be the center of attention for the next episode. Let's see here. Okay, so that was Dragon Ball R&R. And go ahead and cut it off here. It was I think it was overall better than the last episode. At least there was no Mary Sue shenanigans going on. I think overall a lot better. Though plenty of things to work on still. Anyway, I think I'll go ahead and cut it off here. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode of the first edition. And we might watch the third episode next time. And if that's so, then I'll do that. Put it as Dragon Ball R&R 3. Or I have something else in plan. If I decide to do that one instead, which is play a text game, and we'll all decide what we do, what our character does. So, until next time, thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next time.